Hi everyone. Welcome to day 10 of our Inktober 2024 Beginner Tangles Challenge. We're already 1/3 of the way through tangling every day for 30. Actually, we're going 31 days because there's 31 days in October and this is Inktober. My name is Yehudit Steinberg. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're exploring Flux, one of the earliest and most beloved tangles. I've noticed your postings of the tangles that you're learning, and I'm really impressed. And keep going and keep posting in the Facebook group when you have done some of the artwork. So today we're working on Flux. And Flux has a couple of different ways that it's done. We're going to work on Rick Roberts' version today. And here's the step out. And this is my 2-inch bijou example. And I'll be working on a 2-inch bijou Renaissance tile. And let's take a look at the supplies that I'm using. I'm using a Micron 01 for the fine lines. I'm using the Micron PN plastic nib for lines that are a little bit, I want a little bit darker. I have a 2B graphite. I'm using a Statler Mars Lumograph. And I have my small blending stump. So today, before we get started, I wanted to share one of the tips that I use when I've been using this tortillon for quite a while, and you can see that the point is not quite as sharp, but the type of tortillons that I use, they really hold their shape and they're very solid. Some of the cheaper ones, the points go away. So check out my link on my favorite supplies for the brand that I use with my tortillons and my blending stumps. But this is an artist sandpaper uh, little palette here. You can sharpen your graphite with it, but I also use it to get a finer point and also to clear the graphite when it starts getting to be too much on it. And as you can see, it's just sandpaper, but look at that. I now have removed that graphite, and I have quite a little point. So these are the bijou tiles. That's the white version. Today's Tangle Flux. Let's just take a look at that as I describe it a little bit. It's an organic pattern that can vary in appearance depending on how you draw it. Some versions have a teardrop shape, which is what we're going to do today, resembling leaves. It's perfect for filling in spaces and adding texture. So take a shot of the screenshot. Feel free to add that to your Tangle journal. Now, as you're doing that, let's just get started with a couple of deep breaths to become present. I like to really take 5 or 10 deep breaths. So we'll take a couple while we're doing this recording. And while you're doing that, think of something you're grateful for today. Allow that feeling to ground you as we prepare to draw. Stretch your hands to loosen up those fingers and get them ready to draw. We're going to dive right in on this drawing. As you see, I did not do the dot border string here. And we're going to let this tangle flux grow organically. I'm picking up my 01 and I'm going to start in this left corner. I'm going to bring it up with a C curve, curve it around, and give it a little bit of an S shape or a backward S shape. We have now drawn our first flux. The second step in Rick's version is to add a flux on either side. So I'm bringing it up straight and then bringing it back with a curve. And I'm going to turn my tile just a little bit. I'm going to hang one over here. Ooh, sometimes I will come and fix that little line that I put there. I'll show you later on. Now, the next step is we're going to add a few more. We're going to add a few more in different places. So take a look at your flux and see where you'd like to add them. Add one over there. Maybe I'll bring one up. And where else can I add a little one? Be up in this corner. I think that's about it. Now, one of the ways that we teach this flux is to give it a line down the center and 3 dots. So add those to your flux. If you don't have room for 3 dots, improvise. This is a great tangle. There are many tangles that are based on this design. I recommend you go to tanglepatterns.com, watch a couple of videos, watch Rick, how he designed it and does it. Now, the next step, step 5, is adding what we call tipple. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in a little closer. And where we have this little V here, I'm going to give it a little bit of inking to accentuate that and add my little orbs, random orbs. This pattern in Zentangle we call Tipple. Here I'm going to add a little bit of inking. And that was, I had a line there that I corrected, and it is gone now. So no need to get discouraged if you feel like there are no mistakes, and we can, there are a number of ways that we can work with our missteps. And I'm going to add some over, I'm adding some over on this side. Oops. Adding weight in the corners here to give it a little bit of drama. All right, we have drawn Flux. What's our next step? Our next step is shading. So I'm coming into this area here and giving it a little bit, very lightly, using the side of my graphite, turning my tile. And then I can come up against, in this, on the outside line where those little tipples are, and give a little fine line there of graphite to push those orbs to the background, and we'll be bringing the leaf shapes that of Flux that we created. I take my tortillon, and on its side, I'm going to move some of that graphite towards the center. Oh, and then I realized I haven't done this part here. Bring that up a little bit. And there you have Flux. Go in here. I can also really go and darken that a bit. And over here. Flux. We sign. Sign your work when it's done. Initial on the front. Turn it over on the back. And journal. This is Inktober. Put the year 2024. Day 10. The pattern is Flux, and it's by Zentangle. My name and the date. There you have it. The pattern Flux. I'm going to check my notes for a second, see if there's anything that I want to mention to you. Oh, yes. Finally, remember to share your completed tangle in our Facebook group. Look for today's tangle post and add a picture of your drawing along with any comments or questions. I'd love to see how your flux turned out. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this time relaxing and inspiring. I'll see you tomorrow for another mindful drawing session. Until then, remember, one stroke at a time. Bye for now.